Yo, what is up guys, my name's Hakiii, and in this video I'm gonna show you the best properties to own in GTA 5 Online. These could be on land, these could be on water, and even underground. Now if you go on to enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like, that'd be awesome, and if you're new to the channel, go ahead and drop a sub so you never miss any more awesome videos like these. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification bell too while you're at it. Real quick, if you're in need of any of these GTA Online services, check out the top link of the description, and don't forget to use discount code Hakiii for 5% off at checkout. Also, stop by the new giveaway site for some awesome prizes like Xbox Series X's, PS5s, and much more. Anyway though, let's get back into the video. So first up is a CEO office. This is in my opinion one of the must-have properties to own in the game. I consider it one of my main properties, whether it's to spawn there or to store my sickest vehicles in the garages. If you don't know, you can own up to 3 20-car garages in there, so with the office comes basically a 60-car storage, which is huge, especially for people with a lot of vehicles. Besides the garage and car side of it, there's tons of useful features. The first one is if you're in a helicopter, you can just go on the roof of it, and then once you hover over the helipad, it's going to give you an option to press right on the D-pad to enter the office, which is really useful, so you don't have to jump out the helicopter and parachute onto it or anything like that. We'll get back to the useful feature in a sec, but let's talk about the best locations for it. So there's 4 different offices in the game. Personally, I have the Hakiii Business Center one, but there's also the Maze Bank Tower one, which is pretty popular. Also, the Maze Bank West is pretty popular, and then the Long Bank West, which I rarely ever see anyone have that, and for a good reason. I mean, there's no point to buy the Long Bank West one. As you guys can see, it costs $3.1 million, and it's right next to the Maze Bank West office, which costs only $1 million. So the Long Bank one is over 3 times more expensive than the Maze Bank West one for basically no reason, honestly. It's just a bit of a taller tower, that's about it. They're basically in the same location, so if you do want to get one in that general area, definitely go for the Maze Bank West one. I do not recommend you get the Long Bank one. The most popular office to get is the Maze Bank Tower one. A close second is the Maze Bank West, and then the third most is the Hakiii Business Center, which I have. Not many people have it. Very few people I know actually own it like me. I'm one of the few, and then by far the most unpopular one is the Long Bank. Now if you're asking yourself which one you should get, once again, definitely don't recommend the Long Bank one. I do recommend you get the Hakiii one that I have, just because it's basically in the same location as the Maze Bank Tower, but it's a bit less expensive. I guess it's a little bit less luxurious just because it's not the tallest building in the game. The Maze Bank Tower is the tallest skyscraper, so if you're stupid rich, I guess you can go for the Maze Bank Tower, but honestly, if you want to be right in the center of the city and you don't want to spend as much, you could go for the Hakiii, which is what I did. If you want to be a bit more on the west side of the city, you could go for the Maze Bank West one. It's still a pretty solid location, even though it's not right in the center of the city like the Hakiii and the Maze Bank Tower. All of them are in pretty good locations. It's up to you in which exact location you want to be. Besides that, the only thing that's going to affect your decision is the price of these. On top of the base price, which you see on all of them, you're going to spend a lot of money on customization as well, but in terms of the cheapest one, the Maze Bank West is actually the cheapest at, once again, $1 million. The Maze Bank Tower is the most expensive one at ×4 that, $4 million. The Hakiii Business Center has a solid price point at just over $2 million, and the Long Bank one, once again, $3.1 million, not worth it. The renovation customization for the offices is exactly the same, so the only difference with them really are the location and the price of them, and obviously how the building looks from the outside. Some more useful features: it's got the living quarters, so you can have a bathroom, a little bed, and a closet to change clothes as well. You can also start the CEO cargo missions through the computer in the office, which on top of that, you have to buy a warehouse, so it can get a bit expensive. You have the living area, which you can actually play games on the TV if you wanted to. You have this cool table with a 3D sculpture of like the entire map of GTA 5. You have a bunch of chairs around it, which you can sit in, I guess, with your friends, have like a serious meeting or something. You got some laptops right here. You have like a kitchen area, and then you have your assistant, which has some pretty useful features. You can call in any of your personal vehicles down, you can get snacks for free, and you can call in Pegasus vehicles. So for example, you can exit with a buzzard helicopter. And finally, once you purchase a CEO office, you have the CEO menu, which you can do a lot of things in. Actually, you can hire other players to be in the organization for you. You can change the style of your organization. You have a bunch of cool CEO abilities like ghost organization, bribe authorities. You can call in CEO vehicles, which some of them are actually free, and you can start up VIP jobs. Specifically, VIP work is amazing for making quick money. I've used VIP work a bit in my money method videos as well. I can confidently say this property is super beneficial to have. Moving on now to the agency, which came out in the contract deal. DLC. It's really good for making money, and it's got a pretty cool storyline to it. And of course, it's also got a lot of really cool features to it. You can get 120 car garage with it, which looks really cool. You also have some default cars in that garage already, like the Jubilee, for example. So I guess it's nice to have some default cars in there, although most people probably just put their personal vehicles in there and use those more, but I guess it's still nice to have. In terms of making money, there's actually a good amount of ways to make money with this. The main thing is the Dr. Dre heist, which at the end of it you get $1 million, including a first time bonus, I think. You have the security contracts, which are a great way to make quick money. They're basically like shorter type missions. And then you have the payphone hits, which you only unlock after finishing the Dr. Dre heist, but they're also a great way of making quick money. When you go up to the dude in the front desk, you can either request one of your personal vehicles from your agency garage. You can exit via a helicopter, kind of like with The Office. And you got this awesome feature, which is the SUV service, which is basically a fast travel type thing. You can choose to go to a lot of different places on the map. You got Los Santos International Airport, you can go to Paleto Bay, Sandy Shores, and a bunch of other places across the map. Of course, you got stuff like the living quarters, so you can spawn there, but you also have an awesome armory, and this armory is a lot better than some others in the game. You can get health there, you can get ammo there, you can actually customize your weapon loadout, so you don't have to switch between your weapons every time you load into GTA again. You can also buy armor there, so you don't have to go all the way to the gun shop, and this is the only place you can get the stun gun and the compact EMP launcher. So if you are looking for those, this is the only place you can get it in. You can't get it at like a regular ammunition store. And besides these, you can also call up Franklin or Imani, and you got some more cool and useful options there as well. The next one is the Kosaka Submarine. The main reason people buy this one is for the Cayo Perico heist, which if you don't know is the best paying heist in the entire game. You have to buy this submarine to be able to start it. It's gonna cost you a few $1 million, but you are gonna get your money back in no time. A lot of people just like to do the Cayo Perico heist over and over and over again, and they make at least $1 million, if not a few $1 million each time doing the heist. Some sick features it's got: you can actually fast travel with it, kind of like with the agency. You can fast travel to pretty much any area around the map, like in the water still obviously, whether that's next to the airport or next to the beach or next to Paleto Bay, stuff like that. You also have a weaponry in there, so you can upgrade weapons to Mark IIs and get like special ammo for them and everything. You can use remote control missiles, which is an awesome feature with it. And on top of the Kosaka, you can also buy the Sparrow, which is then stored in a room inside of the submarine, and it's a really good helicopter. It's extremely fast. It's in the Warstock Cash and Carry website, and there's a bunch of different upgrades you can do to it, mostly customization. Next up is going to be where you store all your aircrafts, the hangars. This is for the people who are really into planes and helicopters. There's 5 total locations for this. There's 2 at Los Santos International Airport at the bottom of the map, and then there's 3 at the army base, which is Fort Zancudo. It's not like the offices where they're all in the city and they're all relatively close to each other. You gotta choose whether you want to store all your aircrafts at the airport or all the way up at the army base, which is a lot more north. These 2 locations are completely different from each other, so you gotta decide which one's more convenient for you. I personally have mine at the airport, but I could definitely understand why some people would want it at the army base, because for those that didn't know, if you buy a hangar at the army base, every time you enter the army base you actually don't have the cops on you, which can actually be super nice. You could just roam around the army base without having to worry about anyone shooting you, or at least not the military or the cops. I'm not that into aircrafts like some other people. I just chose to get the hangar because it's another place I can spawn at, and I guess it is pretty cool since you can customize your aircrafts and stuff. The next one is the Eclipse Towers penthouses. I wanted to include a somewhat normal property on this list, even though you can start up the heist from it, but I'd say it's the closest thing to a regular property on this list. It's just a good old apartment. It's a really nice one though. Once again, it's a penthouse, and the thing I like most about it is the different styles you have, which you don't really have with other properties in the game. When you open the interaction menu, you can choose from different styles, and there's some really nice and unique ones too. I absolutely love this customization aspect to it, which once again we really don't have with any other property. And there's 3 different penthouses in the same building, so they're all in Eclipse Towers. The cheapest one is $905,000, the middle one is $985,000, and the most expensive is $1.1 million. It is going to be cheaper than the other properties on this list, which is understandable. You don't have as many cool features, but once again, it's just a really nice property to have. I'm not exactly sure what the specific differences are between the 3, but they're all basically the same. If you want to spend an extra $200,000 for the most expensive one, you can, or if you want to get it for the cheapest, once again, it's $905,000, basically $900K. Now for some honorable mentions, we have the Motorcycle Clubhouse. I don't recommend you get the the cheapest one. I don't recommend you get the most expensive. The best thing with it is the menu you get in the interaction menu. You can call in bikes in absolutely no time and they spawn right next to you. Also the facility, you can start up the Doomsday Heist. You have the almighty orbital cannon in there if you want to get that too. And finally the arcade, so you can start up the Diamond Casino Heist, which in my opinion is the second best heist in the game, at least paying wise. And you can get some nice passive income with it too with the safe. And now that you know the best properties to own in the game, click the video on screen now for the best luxury cars to own in GTA 5 Online. Besides that, I hope you all enjoyed that video, and peace.